Oh my god, this chapter of Fairy Tail. Even thinking about what this chapter is, like, probably is some of the most fucked up and probably some of the most darkest stuff that the series has actually kind of delved into with, like, the entire series. Like, and got to say, Irene and Urza's past is something to watch out for, ladies and gentlemen, because my god, was I absolutely astonished by what really went down with Irene, with everything, with I am you and you are me. So immediately starting off this chapter, we did find out immediately about Urza's father, did find out that she was actually a political marriage, and it wasn't Viserion. Like, actually those two were very close in humanity. Like, he kept like what we saw with like Irene immediately company when like Belsarion died, because that was during the whole thing, like the war ended without even knowing who won and who lost due to Acnologia making his appearance, because no matter what, human, dragon, anything, like Acnologia destroyed everything. Only Irene was only the few people to actually survive this, and once the war ended, Irene actually started going through the dragonized like transformation, even her own husband turning against her, and it's like, it's me though, it's Irene, the face will surely heal, like, please, it's me, honey, like, it's me. And it's like, no, you know, you're a monster, you're out like Acnologia, and it's like, please, no, I'm pregnant with your child, and it's like, I don't have a child with a monster, and it's just thinking about it, it's like her entire life like just changed upside down, and like she was fucking mocked, she was tortured, she like kicked and stomped on her, like humiliation, and like you could see throughout the entire time that, you know, like her body was just getting like just destroyed and just smashed up, and even with the like the dragon side part of it transforming, and she's like the only thing she really had to cling on to at this point was her own child, and she was just like holding it. It's just like, don't worry, mommy will protect you. And like even with like her own father saying, dragon woman, we're gonna like announce your execution, and she's just like, please, at least for the child's sake and all that, like, don't mind about me, just let my child be born. It's just like, you know, have you ever heard, you know, that's enough with this joke and all that, you know, like, and have you ever heard anyone who was pregnant for about 3 years, like, because her body was changing as a dragon? I'm guessing dragon biology changed so much, and she's like, you know, there's a thing called magic, and I can't give birth to like a child in a place like this, and it's just like, you know, shall I tear your belly up now, make sure that you find out like what this child is? And we find out right there. That's where Irene gets the scar from, right under there, because the fucking father tried to get a knife and try and cut out Urza by hand at that point. And this like managed to make Irene go crazy and actually activate the full transformation of going into a dragon, and her seeing Irene not only killing her own husband but all those people around there, as you see the first time of Irene's dragon form transformation. Now this is something that with this chapter immediately going into that part, this is what we expect to see for what's going to be happening to Natsu, and perhaps maybe some of the other dragons like Slayers in general. Like something like this is going to happen, where they're going to have, you see the first stage of it is like the dragon force with like the scales, what we've seen, and that could be happening a lot more sooner. They could be getting the wings and actually in full turning into a dragon. So this is a huge hint at like what possibly could happen to Natsu and the others in the near future. And even when like she just blew fire and just like didn't get out of there immediately, she's just like, I'm human, please, I don't want this body, I want to change back into a human. And she's just like, please help me, someone. And like even throughout hundreds of years have passed, like throughout all of this, so it wasn't eclipsed, she just survived throughout the entirety of this and all that. She was just like, oh, I found like, you know, way to unravel this curse, and it was thanks to Xerath in general that I was able to transform back into a normal human body, and he did it with just such ease. And she's just like so happy. It's just like, I finally got a human body after all this time, you know, thank you. And it's saying, you know, it's just physique though and all that. It's just like, you know, you won't be able to actually turn off like what you were from as a dragon. And that's when she found out immediately, where it's just like, no, just being able to be human is more than enough, looking like one. And she's like, she can't sleep, she can't eat, she can't, you know, her body's itching, it's cold, it's like painful. She's just like, why is it? I want human emotion. And like turning herself into a dragon was making her go insane though. And it's just like, you're no longer human. And it's like, I am human, I want to give birth to my human child. And this is where one of the most fucked up things is like immediately found out with like Irene, and it's what exactly with Urza. She's like, a human body? If I could just enchant myself into this child, maybe I'll get my human body. And it's just this grotesque fucking face on Irene as like just this morbid thing of like, I can be human again. I just should get rid of the child. I could just make myself into the child. I could switch it over. I can be human again. It's fine. It's fine. I can do it. I can do it. Like, this incredibly fucked up thing. You're hearing this from your own mother, that your own mother was willing to throw away this brand new life just so she could get like her own body back because of what she tried and what she experimented with. And it's just like, and I found out it was impossible. I failed. I was impossible to enchant myself into you, and I threw you away like trash, and I dumped you in. And Jesus Christ, just finding about Urza, like, Urza, out of everyone in Fairy Tail, has had one of the most fucked up past. Like, she got thrown away into a village like that, even a little bit of that village, after being abandoned by a mother that was trying to, like, take over her and didn't give a crap about her. Immediately, like, trying to save one little girl and got tortured for most of her life, and it's like what she's had to deal with since then. And it's just like, I don't need thanks from trash and all that, you know, like, immediately. And like, even Wendy was like, how can you say that to your own child? And she's like, still, I'm grateful for you abandoned, because I love, like, even this is like one of the more stronger moments of Urza that's ever given. And it's just like, because of you were able to abandon me and all that, I was able to meet my real family. And just that, like, just fucking hit me. It hit me so hard. Like that, like, Urza for once having a good chat, like, just straight up, like, everything that Urza said, which even though wasn't a majority of the chapter about her, was able to do that, and then pulling out this like brand new armor, like this Ace of Spades like kind of armor that she has, which I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to have, because that's what it had, like, the whole design going around. It was kind of like a Kingsley Knight kind of like armor, and it's not exactly the one armor that I was thinking about when I was suggesting like something with Urza. I believe I remembered like a theory video there a long time ago where I was like, Urza to defeat Irene is going to need to pull out some armor like that's going to be like out of all of the ones like to surpass her, and something that's like, you know, a kingly armor or something like that I remember saying. But an Ace of Spades one was kind of like surprising, like that's what kind of, or an like a Jack or a King, like that's something that is going on there. But just, I need to know what you guys thought about chapter 515. Like, how insane was this chat? Like, I remember saying last week that that might be one of the top Fairy Tail chapters like that we had this year, but this one might honestly take the cake, because like this is like, if anything, we've all complained about how much we've like been disappointed with Urza and like how much she's had stuff, and that doesn't erase like what she's had. But Irene definitely, out of all the characters, had the most care and thought gone into like her backstory, and just the amount of sanity that's gone through it, and I've absolutely loved it. Like, I thought that, and I was actually tearing up when I was reading this, and even when I started doing this, I was thinking that it's just like how fucked that it is, like what we are seeing through this like character and what she's like kind of gone through, and especially Irene. And it's very like understanding just like how humans can possibly be when they're honestly dragged into such a when they will honestly think for themselves sometimes. And that was something that you saw with Urza's father. At first it was just a political marriage, and that, you know, they cared for each other, but it was like, oh no, for my position or that, and she mean, no, you're a monster, I need to think about everyone like better the kind. And then same thing with Irene when she immediately turned into a dragon and she turned back to normal. And I think if anything, what she did was like, this maybe explained why she sticked with Xerath in the first place, where it was like, maybe if I stick with Xerath, maybe if I were able to keep him like all this time, I might be able to actually, you know, find a way to cure this out of the way. You know, I couldn't do it with my own power. Maybe Xerath, who the guy could make me into like a human form, could possibly do something to that to me. So in turn, this is going to be something where she's like, you know, you've got the, you know, appearance and like it's just the physique of it, but you're no longer human at all. And it's just like, that's something where it's like, is Urza going to be one of the first few characters in the series to actually take on a dragon? Like, something, even though it wasn't a natural born dragon, it's still something that, like, a human morphed into one. So is that something that Urza could, like, definitely do? Like, is she, like, finally able to do it? And I know a lot of people are going, well, she can, because she's Urza, but, like, just fucking, I love this chapter. I absolutely adored this chapter. And it's cemented. Like I said it last week as well. It's cemented. Irene is the best. Irene is the best brigand. She's just generally it. Like, I think that, like, here I spent a lot of time on this character actually thinking a little bit more about this past, and that's the best part. Like, when Fairy Tail goes into the past and actually like finds out about the character and gives them some like development, I love it. I genuinely love it. It's amazing stuff, content. I just so much loved it, and like, it's rare for me to like tear up to something like that, and especially of all things Fairy Tail, especially, like, you know, and that really hit me. And I'm glad that, you know, for at least you Urza fans know, like, you had something, and just that one panel where you thought just like just we saw Irene just like looking at the bed. It's like, I could just get rid of this child. I could just do this. I could just sacrifice this life that I've got inside of me. And it's just like, how many people, human beings, would be set up into that scenario there? I just need to know what you guys think in the comment section down below, because it's insane. And let me know. Honestly, 10. I absolutely love this chapter. This might be my favorite chapter of Fairy Tail. If not, it probably is one of my favorite chapters of the year. That and last week's chapters, like, it's just insane. But that is all from me, everyone. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But my God, what a chapter! Irene, like, just stealing the show. And I'll see you guys though next time.